fucked up the recording on that last video. I got off topic. I got a little passionate. I got a little fiery. I got a little personal. You know, I saw the video with Steven Crowder and his wife. It made me vomit. I went off on a tangent. Let me focus on the points. And essentially, let me calm down a little bit too, because I'm not involved in the situation. This shit got me heated though. The first video, this shit got me heated for real. Yo, but I'm really analyzing the idea of when people say traditional woman, modern woman, looking at this Steven Crowder video. Dinesh Bashir made a video breaking down Steven Crowder's interactions with his wife. And it really just breaks down when these men are saying they want a traditional woman. They don't want a woman with her own money. They don't want a woman with their own college degree, because that's essentially how they want to treat their woman. That's essentially how they expect. It's like, instead of a lot of these young men analyzing their parents' relation, like I was forced to really analyze. My parents got divorced. I had to analyze their relationship to get different results. You know, I had to look at them as people, not as perfect embodiments of perfection and parenting and father and husband. I couldn't do that. So I had to rework and I had to figure things out a brand new way. Some people's parents never got divorced. Some people's parents never admitted to any infidelity or any of their issues or wrongs, period. They just stayed married because that was the tradition. That's just what they did, you know, traditional woman. Someone who is going to accept your abuse, someone who's going to be your doormat, someone who you can mistreat, someone who is wholly, completely dependent upon you. And if she's not financially dependent upon you, she's mentally and spiritually dependent. It's like, I don't want any relationship where someone is dependent upon me. I don't want any relationship where I'm dependent upon someone else. I've had both types of relationships. I don't like either. I like when I have my own things going on and I don't have to ask my partner for anything. I like when she has her own shit and she don't gotta ask me for a motherfucking thing either though. You know, I'm not here to be someone's ATM. I'm not here to be someone's pincushion. And in turn, I'm not gonna do anything to do that to anybody else. I don't want any intentioned or unintentioned disrespect towards me. And I'm not going to give any unintentioned or intentioned disrespect towards anybody either. Sometimes you do have conflict. Sometimes you do have fights. Sometimes you do say shit you don't really mean. You know, I'm really fucking guilty. I think I'm fucking twitching. So I'm fucking guilty of that shit for real. I'm not fucking perfect, man. I've had every fucking issue in the goddamn book, you know. I managed to stay out of prison, thank God. I managed not to break any serious laws, nothing more than any misdemeanors. I tried to be a pretty good person. I understand relationships have conflict, relationships have issues. You know, if that's the case, though, and you find yourself arguing, I would say healthy would be once a month you have a disagreement. But if any disagreement, if every argument you two have is ending in a breakup, it's ended in you two not talking, it's ended in distance, it's like there's serious unresolved issues there. It may not be that present problem that you're dealing with, but there's serious unresolved issues there. And that's the microcosm there, all right? So that's just the microcosm. That's just one household. What you have to really analyze here with what these women are talking about, until about 30, 40, 50 years ago, that was the norm. And maybe in islands is different. You know, every culture is different. But for the wasps, you know, for the people, I don't know the correct term. What do you call the people that tyrannized and enslaved the entire planet? And then said that was to everyone's benefit. Whoever those people were, whoever you call them, that's how they want to live. So I'm not saying that the counterculture of half-naked women on the internet is going to solve anything. I really don't think it will. But there are a lot of great women. There are a lot of good women. There are a lot of great men. There are a lot of good men that are caught in between this bullshit. And when you have people like Steven Crowder raising their hands to be a pundit, raising their hands to be a leader, you know, that comes with a lot of internal responsibility as well. Too many people want to be kings and queens. Not enough people want to be farmers. A lot of people want to join the Illuminati, and not enough people want to be Masons. Not a lot of people want to go out there and do the work with their own hands. They just want to feel important. You got the Democrats that are controlled by sociopathic narcissists, controlling the depressed masses who are terrified of their past and who have to create all this technological bullshit to advance towards some kind of better future. On the other side, with the Republicans, you have a bunch of psychopathic fucking narcissists. Wait, what is it? It's schizophrenic. Hold on. Schizophrenic psychopaths and sociopathic narcissists. There we go. A bunch of schizophrenic psychopaths. Those are the Republicans. And sociopathic narcissists. Those are the Democrats. And they're both raising their hands, and they're both volunteering, and they're both trying to control the entire planet. The country is in shambles. Our towns and neighborhoods are falling apart. And people like Steven Crowder keep raising their hands. They don't feel the need to heal. They don't feel they need to apologize, to admit when they're wrong, to be moral, to hold the beliefs that they stand up for, to actually practice their convictions, not just preach them at people. No. None of that. I had to learn at a very young age how you treat your partner is how people see you. That's how people see that's the limit within your major trust with people. That is the one person that knows you better than anybody else. That's the one person that probably loves you or hates your ass more than anybody else. And that relationship with that person defines you. And in my life, that was my truth. So when I pray for Steven Crowder, when I pray for all these traditional abusive men, you know, I've psychologically been there before. I had to unlearn and relearn. I had to heal from my past childhood traumas and from what I thought was supposed to be. But it wasn't. Just because your mother chose to stay with your father did not mean that she was happy. And if she is, God bless her. When I talk to married couples all the time, I ask them advice. Every single relationship comes with difficulties. Every single relationship comes with conflicts and hardships. The couples that resolve that conflict, the couples that are able to find consensus through disagreement, to maintain respect for one another throughout one another's hardships and failures, those are the couples that truly succeed. But tyranny does not work. Fascist relationships will not work. And I feel like Steven Crowder has really exposed himself. I feel like he's really exposed the entire conservative and Republican movement with this. If all the pedophilia in all the terrible cities that are run by Democrats expose the Democratic Party, then this red pill bullshit, the way that these dudes want to treat women and want to treat their wives and expect to treat other races and other cultures by proxy. Because if that's how you treat your wife, how the fuck are you going to treat me as a black man? How are you going to treat my woman, my kids? If that's how you plan your life, that's your kids right there. And that's how this nigga's about to get a divorce. He's done. He's done. It made me puke. He's done. And it's like with these white boys, they just get slaps on the wrist. Everyone boo-hoos and cries for them. You're gonna start a GoFundMe for Steven Crowder. Everyone's gonna defend and feel bad because they're so normalized to white men being abusive that they don't really pay adherence to the amount of white men that have really defined themselves by not being like their fathers, by not being like the past generations, and by trying to do something different with their lives, you know? It really doesn't pay homage to the amount of black men that are actually married. I'm not fucking married, you know, but I see a lot of married black men. I see them raising their families, and it looks incredible. It looks incredible to see your family as a unit. It looks incredible when this woman has this kind of gratitude and admiration when she has that wedding ring on her finger and she has that validation and reassurance that every woman really seeks and wants. You know, it's some woman's validation that comes in their career, it comes in having a lot of money, but for other women, that ultimate validation comes in having a fucking ring in her finger and feeling like she's worthy of being someone's one and everything. What a lot of guys do in reverse, this is what I'm not doing. I want to have a healthy relationship and then I'll get married, you know. I want to be a healthy person and then I'll get married and spend the rest of my life with somebody. What a lot of men want to do is they want to marry you and then it don't matter if they change. It don't matter if they get better. It don't matter if they improve because now they got your ass. With women, they'll use a baby on you. A woman will give you a baby, and she's like, I got you by your balls now, nigga. Men will get married to you, and now they control your every move and every life by this bullshit of, well, this is what my mama did. Well, this is what a wife's supposed to do. It's like most you motherfuckers aren't even Christian. Most you people don't even go to church. Most you people have never even seen a healthy relationship before, or else the world wouldn't be the way it is, and it wouldn't be so many single family households, it wouldn't be so many divorces. So it's like, for me personally, because I already gave you the introduction of what I've been through and what I had to unwork and unpackage to even get to this point of raising my family and raising my wife and raising my kids. I guess I'm going to say she's my wife publicly because that's the intention. I'm going to speak that into it. But my woman and my kid, you know, a lot of you want to just get married to completely subvert that. And there is going to be no more progress. There's going to be no more work. That's how you see a lot of couples end up overweight and unhappy because they weren't the best. They weren't the best pick for one another. They didn't have a healthy relationship, and they got to a point where like, okay, we're stuck. You can't afford a divorce. You can't afford to separate. Some of y'all can't even afford to cheat. The cheapest thing that you could do is to learn how to apologize and to learn how to forgive. It's free. It's free. It's going to cost you your pride. It's going to cost you your ego. It's going to teach you humility. It's going to teach you empathy, though. It's going to be able to maintain a relationship. And if you don't like apologizing, and if you don't have a heart to forgive, then that means that you really need to be on your P's and Q's, or you need to stay single. Because if your first resort's going to be, well, I need another man's perspective on this, the other man's going to put his dick in your mouth. He's going to listen to you long enough until you wear yourself out, and he's going to smash. And then you're going to go home with another man's nut up in you, and talk to you, and then you're going to have the same relationship issues with him, and you're going to have resentment towards this dude that you're fucking around with. It is so much easier to just work on your fucking relationship. But the easiest thing that you can do, the only real thing that you have control over, is to work on your goddamn self. If you're having marriage issues, this is my fucking personal perspective. I have married, there's some shit I'm fucking probably doing. It's more than likely something I did. Even if she's blowing it out of proportion, there's probably some shit that I fucking did to make her feel that way. There's probably some shit that happened 5 years ago, maybe 20 years, maybe before she even fucking met me. There's some shit that fucking happened that has her acting that way. Learn how to listen. You know, learn how to just figure out the situation first, and then feel something. Figure out what's going on. Understand the field that you're on first, and then don't, like, damn, man.